Hello everyone, Articulation here, and today guys I'm going to review a Megabloks Dragons set released in 2003 as part of the Krystal Wars sub-theme, and it's going to be the Man of War. So it's not a castle, neither an outpost, it's more like a boat in fact. And as you can see, 2 instruction booklets, so I do not have the box because I bought this set off eBay, so used, and it didn't have the box. So that said, well, nothing really interesting to talk about. Of course, with the parts list, with the code for each part. Then the instruction booklet is quite cool because you got pictures of guys or elements from the set throughout the instruction booklet, which is quite funny. Well, quite nice, a nice little detail, I think. And you got 2 of them, so nothing really interesting. For the second one, you will see some sets of the theme, because well, it's not all of them right there, and also a big combo you can make with all the sets. And well, let's just read the description. So the Norwegian force takes to the seas in the massive Man of War, unfurl the sails, and join the search for the magical crystals of power. Because yes, Krystal Wars is all about crystals, and here is the one you're gonna have in this set. That said, let's move on with the Minifigs. So you got 2 armies in this set, so the Draga and the Norwegian. So here is one of the classic Draga, so you have to know that these guys are mostly warriors in gold with some touch of black, also some grey, some grey for the crest on their helmet. And well, apart from that, you can notice all the little details like the belt or the little sword on the back, which is quite nice. And so that is, well, quite the design of the Draga guys. And here comes his weapon. Well, you notice also his weapon because it's quite important in comparison to the Norwegian's weapon, which are different. And there is a Norwegian guys. As you can see, all the upper part of the body plus the head, of course, it's quite different. The shoulders are wider, as you can see, or broader, yes. And of course, the helmet and the head is totally different. And this time it's got a little crossbow on the back. And it comes with his shield, as you can see, which is different. And the weapons also, which are more like knives or stuff like that. Axes and this stuff. But all of these guys, if they are Dragan, Norwegian or Vorgan, they all got 4 points in common. So the first one is articulation, so 1 for the head, 1 per arm, so there is no articulations for the hands. It's important to notice that, and 1 articulation per leg also. The second point then is that they all got the same mold for the legs, as you have made notice, as you can see. Third point is that they all got a little magnet in their body, so it's quite useful for some play features. And the last point is that each of these guys got a unique head, really a unique head, and different weapons, but most of all unique heads, which is really interesting. So because they are all different. And well, of course, this set doesn't come just with like 2 guys, but with like 12 guys in total, which is really impressive. So you got like 9 Norwegian guys. So here you will see all the different type of heads that exist. So of course the Lego base plate is not included with the set. It just helped me to show you all the guys together. And here you can see kind of their leaders, the chief of the Norwegian, because well, first he got some more colors on the head, and also he owns the chrome weapon, which is not just chromed but also got a little magnet right there, which will be quite handy in a play feature later on. And also the 2 other Draga guys right there. Oh yes. Shield just fall off because yes, a little problem is the kinetic control on some of these figs. Some of these got just some loose ends, which well, the grip doesn't really work that well to all weapons. It's really a little complaint I have with these things, is that the things sometimes are just not as good as well, not all the figs are equal in terms of quality, which is quite bad. And then let's move on to the last fig, which is more like the dragon of this set. So is the type of extra long dragon. Well, I call them like that because, well, just have to do the comparison size will show you that well, those guys are quite long and large. And apart from that, well, you got each 1 point of articulation per limb, so that's all. On this front leg also, you got a magnet on its back right there, which is quite useful to magnet some guys, like I shown you previously, like that, for example. Or also the crystal. So here is a crystal included into this set right there. So you can also magnet it like that. You can also attract it. Then, of course, the head can open or close, or the mouth at least, not really the head, but the mouth. The neck is made with a flexible plastic, as you can see, which will allow the head to come back at its initial position, and the same can be said for the tail. Then the rest of the gimmicks are all here. So we got like 3 gimmicks. So first, some studs to put a guy on there, so if you want a warriors riding the dragon. Then you got the seat, which is in fact a button which can be pushed to flap the wings like that. And finally, there's 4 studs with a little iron part, which is quite useful because you're gonna link this and the crystal is going to light up, as you can see. But you can't put it on or off, so it will stay in light up like that, unless you put it off. And one last thing maybe is of course the paint job, which is quite detailed, so really a nice effect on the wings. The body also is really got a nice paint job. The same can be said for the nails right there, which got 2 colors. So seriously, again, a really good job in terms of paint job. So it's once again quite good. And one last detail, the dragon is supposed to have a chain right there on his neck, but because I said I bought this set used and it didn't have the chain, but it's supposed to have one. And well, that's all for the fig. For those who are still with me, because I know that I take some time, let's move on to the big part of the set, the boat itself. So it's quite a big thing, as you will notice. Yeah. And quite hard to show everything yeah, like that. So here is the boat, excuse me. Well, not finished, but at least most part of it. So it's really simple to explain how it works. First, we're going to link some like 3 or 4 huge hull parts. So like them 1, 2, 3, 4, I guess. I'm not really sure. We're going to link them thanks to these bricks right there. So really quite easy, and also some bricks on the not just these bricks, in fact, just these little ones. Also notice there's 2 parts which will be useful to link the 2 masts, and also apart from that, you will notice the 3 steps right there, which are quite useful, and also the pillars right here, which will be useful to link the next part of the boat, which is this big part to make the floor, if I can say so, the first floor of the boat. So you got like 8 of them, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Of course, they all got a different shape, and of course it's symmetrical, so you're gonna find this part also on the other side. Also notice that the fans right there are directly molded to the parts, unless this one, which can be put off like that, for example. Then on the front of the boat, we are going to link this part, which is in fact just one big molded part, a huge part right there, which will be quite useful because in fact it's a play features of it's a play feature, this big molded part, but we're gonna see that later on. You can notice the anchor right there, which is in fact quite small for the big ship. As you can see, I do not think it's heavy enough to maintain the ship. I'm not really sure, but seriously, it's a little small. Plus also the chain right there is a little, could have been a little taller because it's not really that long. And well, I think they could have improved this part. Except for that, notice the 2 some torches right there. And then let's move on to the back of the ship, which is here. So we're going to add some more ground parts right there, and then we're going to link 6 of these wall parts, which are pretty well detailed once again. So here's the inside, as you can see, maintained by the pillars. And well, apart from that, we're going to link these steel parts all over the place, then some other floor part right there, and nothing more, just this part, then adding a second layer of walls right here, and then the final floor. Notice the fence which are not put in the same way on both sides, as you can see. It's not put on the same way, so quite interesting. Some other torches right there, and some, well, I guess I'm not really sure it can be called a mast, but some part with a sail right there, which can be moved up or down. And I think that's quite all for this part of the boat, so now it's time to finish it. Well, first, I'm going to link this little jail part, prison, this little jail element right there, which can be of course opened. Notice the two studs on the inside, and apart from that, that's all. But it's quite well done, and it fits perfectly in the empty space at the back of the ship. Oh no, excuse me, it's quite hard to move it. Then I'm going to link this part, so a big brick with some fancy parts. It will be just put, well, I can see like 8 of these parts, and it will be put right there. So to link the two sides together. And then we're going to add some cannons right there. So once again, quite nicely detailed with some gold and dark gray colors, very nice. Of course, a little button right here, and when I press it, it fires the bullet. Well, the part you can see, which is not a perfect cycle, so it's why it's look like it's quite damaged, and I found it's a pretty nice detail. And of course, the cannon can be moved up or down and on the sides. Second one, which is the same, but is put on the other side. And now, yes, we are going to link a big part. Oh yeah, excuse me, I just have to. So, excuse me, just quickly. I just remember that I have to find some word. Yeah, I know it's not a serious thing. Yeah, a waft. So yeah, it's just the word I searched because look at this part. As you can see, it's a big blocky part, so you've got a trap directly included into the piece, so it works just fine, as you can see, and you can make some guys fall off from this part. You also have the helm, I guess it's called helm, this part right there, well, the steering wheel of a boat, of course, but I do not have the exact word, which is also, once again, linked to a part which is quite detailed. And as you can see, some studs, and the fact which is quite interesting is that this part, well, I'm going just to add the last part, because as you can see, we have this dark gray part, and I'm going to link this big crossbow part right there, crossbow weapon. So once again, full of details, nice color, and you have to press this button, which is directly linked to this part. And here we go. And this part are soft plastic. So also notice the 4 studs right there to link a minifig on the seat. So they really think it well and thought it well, and it works just fine. So of course can be moved up, down, and on the sides. And with this part, as you can see, can be, it's supposed to be linked right there, so like that. But as you can see, it's quite easy to put it off because you will notice this part on the back, on the under part, and in fact it's useful to make some waft. So for example, imagine that the ship is beginning to sink, then you can still use this part and use, of course, your imagination to make it look like a waft, and so the survivors of the sink ship can still move on their waft. So it's really a nice idea for Megabloks because it can be put off very easily, and it was great. So a nice idea. And then let's add the masts and the different sails. So it looks like that right there. So you can see a big part for the mast, and then we're gonna use these clips right there, which are also clips to this part which holds the cells, and that's all. And thanks to this part, we're going to be able to move them up or down. So we're going to be able to well, open or close the cells, and I find it pretty smart. And also it's pretty simple to make, so works just great. This part to put some guys in there, and the little flag at the end with the Norwegian logo. But the flag is just a solid plastic part, also it's not really it's not like the cells part. So we're going to link this part on the big holes I have mentioned earlier, so like that. And then the fourth sail, as you can see, with a nice Norwegian logo on it, well, emblem, which looks just fine. Really, pretty cool. And here we go. And now the last gimmick. So I'm going maybe to move the ship around to show you the last play features. Excuse me. That will be all for this review, guys, because I guess it's long enough. So yeah, the front part of the ship is really a nice play feature, because you will notice right here that we have two things: a little magnet right here, which is linked on a lever, on a button, and then this fostered with some metallic parts. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to take the crystal, link it right there. So of course, if I turn it, it will light up. Well, here it's quite used, so it doesn't really. Well, you have to push it if you want to light it up. But well, you can turn it on or off. And then I'm going now to take this part, which is the star that I showed you earlier, the chromed one with the little magnet here. And I'm going to link that right there, so thanks to the magnets. And well, now I have to, of course it works also without the weapon. You can push it with your finger, but of course in the Dragon's universe, it's cooler to put the weapon here and then to press it. And here we go. As you can see, when I push the button, the wings and the mouth open, while the wings move up, and the mouth is opening, and also the crystal light up, and the same things happen on the flame right there. So, like that, as you can see. And of course, this part, this little table, has kind of grown up. And if I want to put it in its initial position, just have to put it down. And once again, notice the nice texture of the wood right there, which is beautifully made. And that's all, guys, for the Man-O-War boat. Or warship. Well, more like a ship than a little boat, in fact. So I'm going to maybe try to show you everything I can with the boat, but it's quite hard, of course, because it's quite a big boat, as you may have noticed from now. Right there. You have a nice view of the overall ship. So just add the guy to the comparison size with him. And well, as you can see, it's quite big. So, that said, let's sum up finally for the Man-O-War, so from the Krystal War subsim. So, well, complaints. First, the quality control on the minifigs. Some of the hands do not hold pretty well the weapons. Well, it happens mostly with the Dragar guys, but even the Norwegian guys got sometimes little problems, so it's a little complaint. And then of course the two most complaints we can have with this set is the fact that it's mostly big bricks and there is no little details in the ship. As you have may noticed, it's quite empty. There is nothing like your little, there is no big details. So, well, like there is no captain's room or stuff like that. It's not like a Lego warship, which is full of little parts and details. Here, it's the opposite way. So, of course, people who do not like this style of construction toy will not be pleased with this set, but I think that they have understood it by now. And well, now I'm going to talk about the good points, at least for me. So first, well, 12 figures, quite impressive in terms of numbers. So really tons of one, plus some pretty good ones also. Each of them is different. Each of them got different head, which is quite nice and really makes them unique. Then we got, well, the ship itself, even if it's made with blocky parts, well, at least it's big, so it's quite impressive when you're a kid. And even when I bought this set, so in 2006 or 2007, I was quite impressed with the size of this thing, seriously. In comparison to the Minifigs, it's really big. So I'm sure the kids will love it. Well, it's not really a big problem with this shield. Excuse me. And then, well, the play feature. So of course you got like first 12 minifigs, and then you got like 3 cannons. You got this part on the back of the ship, which can be transformed into a raft. There was also some trap, a jail, the gimmick on the front, which is really impressive. I mean, of course, it's just one play feature with a big modded part, but at least it works, and it works just great. And it's quite impressive to watch it. So yeah, overall, and once again, it's a great set in terms of playability. It's big, it's nice, it's fun, and well, I think that's all you have to know about this type of sets from Megabloks, because of course they did some sets with more little parts, like their Pro Builders scene and stuff like that. But with this Dragon set, like the Vorian Strongholds, Man of War, or the Marauder's Cliff, it's more like big things with a few details, I have to admit. But at least it works, it's impressive, and it's fun to play with. And well, that's some important thing for a construction toy, so at least it's quite nice. So I'm just going to add the 2 last guys, which just keep on losing their shield and weapons. It's really horrendous. And yes, of course, the dragon, like I didn't mention this one, but of course, full of, as you can see, some even if it doesn't really have tons of articulation, at least it has full of gimmicks, and it's really got a great paint job. So yeah, I think that's all for this set, guys. So hope you enjoyed this review of the Man of War set. Hope you enjoyed the set itself also. And well, I think that's also a pretty good playing set once again from Megabloks. Of course, not full of, well, the construction is pretty simple with many big blocky parts, but at least you got a big warship, and you have tons of figs, so really a good time to play with that, and I think it's pretty great for what it is. So that said, hope you enjoyed this review, guys. Hope you enjoyed this set. If you have any questions or comments I have not answered in this review, well, feel free to ask them in the comments section of this video. And that said, see you later for another video reviews. Bye bye.